I promise you to show you a little bit of the value. And what we've been doing at Copenhagen Business School is actually looking into the 1,000 biggest companies in Denmark. And let me remind you that Denmark is a tiny country. I mean, if we were a village in China, we would not even be on the map because there's only 5.5 million people in Denmark. So it's a tiny country. But we've been looking at the 1,000 biggest companies in Denmark, and we did that last year, just to try and figure out how much were they potentially losing, talk about Negoeconomics and the potential added value. And some of the companies we were looking at in Denmark were these, and then several others naturally. And we actually came up with a number that was kind of surprising to me. Looking at those biggest 1,000 companies annually, loss, the number we actually came up with they were losing in negotiation was this number in US dollars. 81,250 million American US dollars annually. Now, when we showed this number to lots of people, a lot of people were very critical. I was even critical myself. You know, a lot of people actually saying this can't be true. I mean, if you take this number, divide that by 1,000 companies, it's actually a lot of money per company. If those companies actually manage to discover that, you know, they could cancel the financial crisis, it's gone. Because there's lots of money out there, they haven't utilized it. So let's just say, for the sake of argument, that this number is not the right one. Let's say that those postdocs, PhDs, and professors calculating this number were not the brightest people that Copenhagen Business School could actually find, okay? They were not the brightest people. So let's say the real number is only 55 billion. That would still be okay for me. I mean, that number would be quite okay. And let's even add another variable, that these people who are not the brightest people at Copenhagen Business School, you know, they even hit that Excel error. Do you remember that Microsoft at one point had a calculation error in the Excel sheet? So if you did a certain formula, it miscalculated. Let's assume they hit that one as well. So the real number is not even 55. The real number is only $40 billion per year. Well, that will still be enough of money. And we could even add a third variable saying there's not the brightest people, and they hit that calculation error, and besides that, they were terribly drunk the whole month they did that research project, okay? So the real number is only 25 billion US dollars annually. That's still a lot of money. But what is even more fascinating is that we have just concluded the same study in the US. Isn't that fascinating? Looking at the 1,000 biggest companies in the US. And it's Thunderbird University who's done the research in the US. And are you ready for this number I'm going to show you now? The biggest 1,000 biggest companies in the US, who a lot of them are among the biggest companies in the world, their annually loss